showcase our gorgeous charity dies. Now, these have been around for about a year now. So you may have seen them already, but I kind of wanted to show them off again and take this opportunity to share a bit of inspo with you. Obviously, they were released last year when we kind of went into lockdown and the pandemic started to really escalate, and it was kind of our way of giving back, but also supplying you with some gorgeous dies as well at the same time, so kind of best of both worlds. So I'm just going to show off the couple of dies, and then I'll run through a gorgeous make with you as well. So the two dies that we have for the charity dies are this first one here. I'm going to take it out of the packaging actually so you can see it a bit better. Oh, there we go. This one is the rainbow die set, and as you can see, it's got this gorgeous rainbow. We obviously went for the rainbow because I think particularly at the beginning of lockdown, especially here in the UK, and I'm pretty sure all across the world, wherever you are or were at the time, definitely let me know if the rainbows were as significant to you guys in your country as they were here in the UK. And we want to kind of symbolise that into a die. So we made one with this gorgeous little rainbow and these little clouds, and you can add little smiley faces and stuff onto the clouds. Really, really cute. And this one, you get 6 die sets in that, and it is 665031. So that one is the rainbow die set. And then we also did one that was lots of kind of sentiments and quotes, which I think is really, really nice. And this one's the Good Vibes die set. And this one is 665030. And as you can probably see from the front there, you get so many different gorgeous sentiments and quotes. Obviously really feel good, positive quotes to kind of keep us going through this pandemic, or even through other difficult times that we may be facing. We've got things like sending love and hope, you got this, smile, we're all in this together, and they just work beautifully together. And obviously they are charity dies, so some of your purchase money or the money that you will pay to buy these dies will go towards charities. So actually when you purchase your dies, you should get one of these lovely little cards, and it actually kind of says where your money's going, which is really, really nice. So if you are purchasing from the .co.uk website, then £6 or €7 from the sale of each of the 2 special charity dies will be split equally between Action Against Hunger and the Trussell Trust. Okay, so those are the 2 charities that you will be donating if you do purchase one of these dies, if you're purchasing from the .co.uk website. If you are purchasing from the .com website, then $10 of your purchase will go towards Feeding America. Okay, and we kind of chose these charities because we think they're really close to our hearts, and we just wanted to support them during such a difficult time. So yeah, so that's kind of where your money will be going if you purchase one of these dies. Can't get my words out. And yeah, you'll be doing a little bit of good but getting something really nice in return. On the back of these cards actually as well, I just wanted to highlight there are some inspiration makes as well for you, as well as the one I'll be showing you today. But it does also say to share your rainbow makes with us using the hashtag #DonateToMake, which would be really, really nice for us if you do get these dies and you do make something using them. We would love, love, love to see them here at Sizzix. So make sure to put that hashtag #DonateToMake when you're putting an image of your make, whether it's on Instagram or Facebook or anything like that. We would love to see it, and even maybe leave some images down below in the comments. That would be really nice for me to see. Yeah, so those are kind of the rundown of the dies, and obviously the charities that are linked to them. And then I just wanted to do a quick make for you to highlight maybe how you can use these. So what I'm going to show you how to make today is this gorgeous little card. I just wanted to do something really fun using both the dies, and it's this lovely little kind of fold out card. So I'm going to show you how to do that today. Okay, so what I'm going to do, as per usual, I'm going to bring the camera down. Bear with me a couple of seconds while I do that and make sure it's in a great position so you can see everything that I'm doing, and we'll get started. Okay. Okay, fab. Hopefully that's okay for you guys. So to get started with the card, you're going to want your card base. So I've just used some plain white cardstock and I've just folded mine so it creates that join in the centre. So you can just take, this is the length of an A4 piece of card, and you can kind of measure along whereabouts you would want your folds to be. And normally an A4 piece of card is roughly a little bit less than 30 centimetres, so you can kind of measure that up, or you can just eyeball it if you're really confident. But the main thing is you want these to join perfectly in the centre, okay? So that's really important. And then I've just cut mine down to make sure it's a square, so I think it's about 15 centimetres by 15 centimetres along either side, okay? So that's the main base of the card, and then I'm going to create a little bit of a background effect before we put any die cuts on. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring in some Distress Oxide. This is the Tattered Rose Distress Oxide, the Tim Holtz Distress Oxide. You could also use Distress Inks or watercolours or anything like that. That's absolutely fine, but obviously pick a colour that will work with the colour scheme that you're going for. And then I'm going to bring in my multi-tool. So I've got the blending head attached onto there. I'm actually going to take the knife, the craft knife end off just for safety. So I've just got that blending head tool on there, and then I'm going to dip that in. So I've already got a sponge that has that colour on it. And I'm just going to blend in between those two pieces. I actually might put a piece of paper underneath. There we go. So I don't get any of the ink or the oxide on the back piece of my card. And I'm just going to create a sort of pink hue or pink cloud, and this is going to kind of frame the rainbow that's going to go in the centre. Okay. So just work kind of in circular motions, just take your time, keep adding a little bit more as you go and working that colour into the card and making it as opaque as you want, or as translucent as you want. Okay. I'm not going to do too much, obviously, just for time's sake as well, but you can take your time and really make sure the edges are nice and blended as well. Okay, I think I'm going to stop there. So we've got our kind of background hue. Like I said, you could also do that with watercolours if that's what you prefer. That's absolutely fine, just as long as you've got a nice little coloured cloud in the background. Okay, and then we can start to bring in our die cut. So obviously the first thing is going to be that lovely rainbow. So I've actually pre-cut some pieces already, but I actually need to finish off the rainbow with these other two colours. So I'm going to take my rainbow die. So on the back here, as you can see, you've got that lovely big rainbow, and it actually cuts these elements all separately. So it means that you can do each part of the rainbow in a different colour. And I'm just going to push these to one side and bring in my machine. And I am using the Big Shot Fold Away today, so I can do 2 layers of card at once. Whatever machine you have, just take to your die cutting to that machine. Okay. And bring those off. And actually, while I'm here, I might do one of the clouds. So I've got some of the glitter ivory opulent cardstock, and I'm going to pop that cloud there and pop that through. Just so I've got those ready to go. Okay, so once you've cut that out, I'll show you how you can kind of get each piece. So I want the bottom rainbow part of this for the lilac, so that's what I'm going to do, and then I'm going to take that bit away. So what's really nice about this die as well, you could take the negatives and use these as stencils as well, because that's a really gorgeous clean rainbow that you could stencil. So there's a lot of things you could actually do with the makeup of this die. And then I want the pink part, just the one up, so as you can see they slot perfectly together like that. Okay, I could save the other ones and make loads of different rainbows, so definitely keep that in mind if you're making several different cards. Okay, so I've got all my rainbow pieces. I'm just going to take my express glue and start to adhere these onto the front of my card. So you don't need much glue, just a thin line. Turn it over and then press your card flat and put that where you want it. You kind of want it equal on both sides, so you've got both sides of the rainbow on the card, and just keep doing that. Okay, just hold it down until it's dry, and then we're going to work our way down with the other colours. Now don't worry if you think we're covering that line or the part where the card actually opens. We're obviously going to remedy that once this is all stuck down, and we're going to cut the rainbows in half. But doing it this way just means all the rainbows will be cut exactly where we need them. They'll all be having the same cut line, so you won't have to worry about lining them up separately. You can just do it all at once, which is just super handy. Okay, I have obviously using express glue to pop these down as well, but you could also use adhesive sheets, Sizzix adhesive sheets. Before you cut anything out, you could pop some adhesive sheets onto the back of your cardstock and then cut them out, if that's the way you prefer to do things. Maybe with some of the more intricate bits like the smiley faces on the clouds or the sentiments on the quotes, you could definitely use adhesive sheets to kind of save a bit of time and stop any mess from happening, if you would rather do that. Okay, so I'm going to leave that to dry for a couple of seconds before I do any cutting, but while I'm waiting for that to dry, I think I'm going to pop on my clouds. So you saw me cut the glittery cloud out, so this is from the Ivory Opulent cardstock pack, and then I've cut two more out from the mirror cardstock from the Ivory Opulent set as well. So I'm going to do that, and I'm going to stick these on with a little bit of foam tape. So my first one, I'm just going to pop some foam tape on there and pop that directly there, and then I'm going to have the other two slightly off my card front. So I'm going to pop a little bit of foam tape just on one side of that cloud and attempt to peel it off. There we go. And then I'm going to pop that slightly off, and we're going to trim that off in a second, and I'm going to do the same with this one, I think. So that's going to go there. But what I'm actually going to do with this one is I'm going to do 2 layers of foam, because I want this to be slightly higher than this one, and it's going to slightly overlap, so it just creates that little bit more dimension. Okay, there we go. So that's slightly higher. So now I can trim off these. You can turn it over, and that just gives you an exact line to cut to. Okay, there we go. And I think I'm feeling ready to cut this rainbow in half. So if you just go straight down the center of the card, this is why your card kind of needs to be perfectly aligned. Don't worry if it's not and you need to trim off a little bit more, that's absolutely fine. So you can see we now have 2 halves of a rainbow on either side. Okay, you can now finish this off with your sentiment and a few other extra little elements. So what I'm going to do is I've got some of the gold opulent cardstock, and I'm going to cut out some raindrops and my sentiment from the gold opulent, I think. So I'm going to use the smile sentiment. So I could use any of them, but because I want it to be slightly curved over the top of the rainbow, like so, I want one that's not joined up. So say like the thank you is joined up, I want something that all the letters are going to be separate. And then I'm going to bring in the raindrops, and I think I'm going to cut those from gold as well and make the rain nice and sparkly. Okay. And again, just pop that in your sandwich on your machine and run it through. Okay, so some of these little bits can be a bit fiddly, but just take your time. Okay, I've actually stayed in the die, which is kind of handy actually when they're quite small, at least you know where they are. Okay, and then again, I'm just going to glue these down. Now again, you could use adhesive sheet to do that, but I'm just gonna pop a little bit of glue onto the back of my hand and then take my tweezers and dip my die cuts into that. Let me know actually if any of you at home or any of you watching use the back of your hand to put glue on and sort of dab off excess glue, or use it for like intricate die cuts so you don't apply too much glue to the back of your die cut. Let me know, because I'd be really interested to see if other people actually do this or if it's just a weird quirk that I do. Okay, and then I'm just going to glue this smile. I am doing this upside down, so I really hope I stick these down the right way. And you could actually even stencil some of these as well, because they cut out obviously like a full sentiment, and then you could use the negative and stencil your sentiment as well if you wanted to try stenciling. And you could do that with just cardstock, or if you wanted a little bit more of an accurate stencil, you can use our stencil film for that as well. Okay, and then my S. Again, just dab that in your glue. You don't want much glue on the back of these, otherwise it's going to get a bit messy. Okay, and I'm just going to add a little sun in the corner as well. And how I'm going to do that is I'm going to use some of our permanent markers, from our permanent marker pens. I'm going to take the two kind of yellowy gold shades, and before I go in with my permanent marker, I'm just going to draw with a pencil just really lightly, roughly where I want the sun to kind of come out at the top of the rainbow. You could also use just a circle die cut for this if you wanted it to be a little bit neater. I just thought it would be quite fun to just draw it on. So I know roughly where my sun is going to go. Then I'm going to draw it with the thin ends. What's really nice about these is they have a thin and fat end, so you can be quite precise. And then I'm going to fill it in with the fat end, I think. Just because I wanted a little sun on this card front, as well as a little cloud and a rainbow. Okay, and so that's the lighter yellow, and then I'm going to take the darker yellow orange and use the thin tip end and add some sun rays. And if you already had like a sun die in your collection, you could again just do this with a die set. I just wanted to show you how you could just add this little extra bit without using any more dies. And what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to add some shading, I think, to the side of the sun. There we go. And then once that's kind of set, because it is a permanent pen, it will set pretty quickly, you can go in and erase any of the pencil lines that you don't like or you're not happy with. Okay, so you could kind of stop there and leave it as it is, or you could use the extra little elements to pop on like a little smiley face onto the sun and the cloud, which I have done here. Okay, so as you can see, I've used the extra elements from the die set and popped on my little smiley faces and the little rosy cheeks. Obviously my sun is a little bit more flushed than my cloud, so he's got darker pink cheeks, what I think is really cute. And I've added some more raindrops down there with some of the gold glitter opulent. Okay, so even from just using the same kind of techniques, the same card, you can change it up each time with your sentiments and your little personalised elements as well. And I just think it's a really fun, really cute card, really nice idea. And this is, I think, simple enough that beginners or even children could have a go at this, or you could make it quite complex and add a little bit more technique into it, and you could have a lot of fun if you're a bit more of a veteran maker as well. Okay, so I'm just going to pop the camera up, say goodbye, and I think we're done. There we go. Hope I'm still in frame and you can still see me. So yeah, that's that gorgeous rainbow card with that front opening. Decor you could probably create so many different things from this die set, or these two die sets, from anything like cards, home decor pieces, scrapbook pages, anything like that. There's a couple of different makes on there for you, and those are the two dies that are the charity dies. So like I said at the beginning, you've got the rainbow die set and the good vibes die set, work beautifully together and go to a fantastic cause, or part of the money will go to a fantastic cause. So if you are shopping on our European website, then the money will go towards Action Against Hunger and the Trussell Trust. And then if you are shopping on our .com website, so if you're shopping in the US, then $10 will go to Feeding America. Okay, so I hope you enjoyed watching today, guys, and checking out those gorgeous charity dies, and hopefully brought some fun and colour into your day. Definitely use that hashtag donate to make if you do get these dies and you do make anything. We would love to see it. I would love to see it. And yes, spread that positive vibes and that positive attitude. That'd be really, really nice across all of our socials. Okay, so thank you again for joining me today, guys. I hope you have a fantastic day. I'll see you in the next one, but until then, stay safe and keep crafting. Thanks, bye.